Children responsible for the assault have been arrested. The incident occurred as the pregnant woman was walking home. After a group of minors knocked her down, they took turns jumping over her as if playing a vaulting horse game. Her young son rushed into the crowd, shielding his mother's abdomen with his frail body. Despite his tears, a cell phone camera captured this heart-wrenching scene.
Have y'all seen the widely shared video of the mother and her son being jumped by several small threats from middle school society? You would concur that it is repulsive if you have. Naturally, the parents did not let anyone down when they came out, boasting about their kids and saying that these bullies were innocent and that others had done worse when they were young. When they stated that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, they weren't kidding. However, you know what? It did not sit well with the populace. All of the parents have been exposed to the internet. The community is asking one by one that these children and their parents be held accountable before things get any worse. It has exploded everywhere in a matter of days. Furthermore, the event is no longer limited to Chicago.
Apparently, the mother has been telling the school this entire time that her son was getting bullied, and the school didn't do anything about it. And this is why you got the community out there protesting, because these schools refuse to do anything when these parents come up to these schools and tell them that their child is being bullied. I don't know what goes on in their minds, and they just be like, oh, you know, kids are going to be kids. Y'all have to stop doing that, because we see too many situations where kids are being bullied. The parents come up and they tell y'all about it, and for some reason y'all don't do nothing about it. It's really frustrating.
Everyone has been talking about how these children are essentially running about doing things without any discipline or supervision for a while now. From instructors to regular service personnel at establishments like supermarkets, some educators have even resigned their positions in order to avoid dealing with these angry children. A few days ago, on a Tuesday afternoon, Crohonda went to Orville Bright Elementary School to pick up her kid from school. Crohonda, who has sickle cell illness, has been complaining to the school about her son's bullying for the past 2 years, but nothing has been done. When the children spotted Crohonda and her son on this terrible day, they approached them and began to laugh and make fun of them. However, Crohonda remained silent. In order to avoid being jumped, she moved her daughter and son to the side and continued to walk. However, they continued to pursue them until they reached the next block, at which point one of them struck her son. They immediately dragged Crohonda through the grass and tugged her daughter's hair as she intervened to protect her son. To stop them from assaulting her, her son even had to run in to shield his mother's belly. And if you haven't seen this video, it might be best if you don't, since it's one of the most depressing and startling things you'll ever witness. And all it will do is infuriate you.
Come on, blood! Shamar, look at that! Shamar! Come here! What you want, Shamar? Shamar, foot. What you want, Shamar? Shamar, look at that. Other big Shamar. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God.
Naturally, since this is 2025, the incident was captured on camera and shared on social media, especially Facebook. As a result, it became extremely popular as soon as it was uploaded, and nobody found it funny at all. Someone from the neighborhood had gathered in front of the school the very following day demanding explanations. A handful of the children participating in the incident were detained and questioned by the police, who held them for hours despite pressure from the community to take action against the atrocity.
Parents and those children, and I think before we do a lot of talking, we need to listen. We need to listen to those children. What I just heard are 2 little, beautiful black children that are traumatized. They've been bullied. They've been tortured. And I just spoke without giving up full details. What I just told the principal and CPS, that we're not about to let a bunch of rules get in the way of protecting our children.
That's right, that's right.
No mother should ever have to go through what that woman went through.
Crohonda, on the other hand, was so physically and psychologically overwhelmed by the attack and her pre-existing condition that she and her kid were brought to the hospital for treatment. And since there was no way that such bad behavior could have just begun at school, people took it online and began searching for the parents of these kids in an attempt to let the police and school know that this was not going to be ignored. One by one, the community's parents began pressuring one another to accept responsibility for their kids. This will be the first time calling someone's job to get them fired. But at Yas St. Patrick, you can delete your Facebook all you want, but the internet will find you, someone wrote. And if they do, I promise to phone your place of employment 55 times a day in order to dismiss you. Indeed, one of the girls who is said to have led the group is the mother of St. Patrick. She first said, "Let me say this," when the video began to circulate. "My daughter is a wonderful child. In addition to being ahead of her class, she is an AB student and the cheerleading squad captain. Excellent things from each instructor. The only people we owe an apology to are that woman and her children. You guys are searching for a viral moment, so please stop talking, because kids will always be kids, and there are kids out there who did much worse. Not to mention when you were 12 and 13, in the past you guys were out here beating up crazy people. You guys have no idea who we are." Peer pressure was applied to her. She was made to answer for her deeds. She has a castle and everyone is standing 10 toes behind her. But it takes a village. Once more, we have nothing to apologize for. And no, it is not at all how my children were raised. Yes, I guess. What do you mean, girl, that she was not brought up in that manner? Where in the world did she pick up that conduct if she wasn't reared that way?
And to the mother down there in Chicago, huh? Who daughters apologize? No, you don't get to tell us how to treat your daughter, because I watched that clip. You understand me? I watched that clip. She was not a child the way she was cussing, baby. She done heard some things and seen some things, young lady. You did a terrible job. You did a terrible job.
Perhaps she assumed that the internet would simply discuss it for a while before letting her go. But that was completely untrue. She was under constant scrutiny until she was forced to move in with her daughter to apologize.
I was wrong. Happy.
It's okay, come on.
For everything that I did. And I was just being a follower. Following everybody who don't even got nothing that I got.
Moving in with that child was a bad choice because no one was interested in hearing what she had to say. Keep in mind that it seems the girl was the first to punch the mother. However, they were discussing peer pressure and the fact that she was still a young girl while they were live. Please, child. Then, wearing what looked to be her niece's jacket, one of the children's aunts went live and talked about Karonda and a 9-year-old getting beaten up carelessly.
Y'all see that video. And if any bitch wanna be funny, fuck them, the ugly ass baby, pissy ass grandma, throwing ass people. What kind of shit they want when they got buried? Ugly ass clothes. People, fuck y'all. On crap, I hate all y'all. Bottom line. Hey, I know y'all see that video.
Like, what makes that so hilarious? Other parents, such as Nicole Collins and Tisha Stevenson, also stepped out. They stood 10 toes behind them and claimed not to play with their children. This kind of circumstance is quite upsetting. Nevertheless, their parents continued to believe that their children had done nothing wrong. Kids aren't just being kids in this situation. Therefore, even though people recognize that they are still young, the internet ultimately wants them to be held responsible and punished before any kind of forgiveness can be shown, because these children will undoubtedly repeat their behavior if they are not made aware that their actions have serious repercussions. Karana also expressed her thoughts on this, stating, "So much pain, both physical and emotional. I don't feel well at all." She additionally stated her entire body hurts and both her kids are traumatized, with her son jumping out of his sleep at night, calling her name. "We have trauma too," her husband said, breaking the stillness as well. "I was unable to fall asleep, at a terrible time falling asleep. Every time I close my eyes, I see the video, so I had to make myself go to sleep. Justice is what I desire. I want the school to take accountability. The children and parents who are creating all of that garbage." Naturally, the internet also had a lot to say. We really do live in a crazy world. Kids rearing children. I watched the video of the kids jumping with that mother and her 2 children, and believe me when I say that my entire family would have thrown me beneath the house for being disrespectful. I was absolutely enraged by the footage of those kids in Chicago jumping that woman and her infants. What kind of demon-possessed nonsense are you people calling out? Don't simply confine the children, punish the parents as well. You also bear the cost because you have no control over your children. Would any of you have predicted that this would occur? Please share your thoughts in the comment section, and remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons. I'll see you in the upcoming video. Goodbye, baddies.